What's up? Hey, good morning. Welcome once again to the Big Time Show. The edition, of course, is the ride, as you can see. Uh, you know what it is. I'm driving, heading into work. I want to pop on real quick, just to talk just a little content while I can, and been with you guys, of course, in a couple of days or so. My son is driving me crazy with his schedule, with his AAU basketball. Somebody didn't give me the memo that I will have to be taking him to either the practice or games at least about 4 to 5 times a week, which of course is interrupting my regular scheduled things that I do and have to do. So of course it's called adjustment, a little audible that I have to do. Uh, I'm grateful for it. He's my only child. He's 10 years old. He has got a nice little skill set in basketball already and football. So we're just trying to see, where he is. And so far, he's doing pretty well in it. So, I got to keep rolling with him. So forgive me if I haven't been with you guys as much as I used to be. But I got to squeeze it in. And it's to the point that I had to come on this early just to hang with you guys. So here I am. I've been paying very close attention. Uh, Doing all type of things as far as Cowboys related. I will be on the draft show. I want to let you guys know that Boss Cowboys draft show. I'll be somewhat of a correspondent to a few teams, not Cowboy related. We're gonna put on a great draft show for you guys. Boss Cowboy, Amp, Lose Take, Henny the Moore. I believe Rome will be a part of it. I believe so. It's just gonna be the DC universe. So whenever we say the DC universe, you already know that it's going to be some people there with us. All right, so get ready for that, and get ready for the draft. And in the preparation of the draft, I want to throw up one major question for you guys this morning, and I want to share this with you. I'm not able to speak to everybody, but whoever's here with me, thank you so much for hanging with me. I can see writing, but I can't read it because it's very small on my screen right here. But hello to whoever you are that is here with me. I want to throw up this to you guys because the more that I think about this thing, the more I'm leaning toward that things are really not changing. Um, I want you to listen to yourself as well as listen to what I've said. Everybody, when it comes to the draft, everybody is saying, well, majority of the fan base is saying one or two things primarily, not in a specific order and not at pick number 12, but mostly everybody is saying we need either one or two things. We need everything. But these are the two positions that you've heard. You heard we need a running back, and you heard we need a number two wide receiver. By now, you should already have seen it's obvious that the Cowboys are going to address both positions in the draft. Not going to be free agency. I know we just signed another backup lineman yesterday. You know that's all the type of free agent signings that we're doing leading up to the draft. Depth, as I've always said, depth signing. Nothing wrong with that. Not knocking guys. I don't know, their real skill set, but I know their backup. So keep that in mind. However, when we talk about the running back, most people are saying we do not need a running back at pick 12 unless Genty is there. And I think everybody should know by now that Genty probably will not be there. The only way we'll get Genty unless we move up to go get him. I don't see the Cowboys doing that. I just don't. I can see us moving down, but I can't see us moving up. So I don't think Genty will be in play. There's a lot of little talk about Amarion Hampton being drafted at 12. That to me is a reach. Yes, he's a good player. Great. I like him. Would love him to be a Dallas. But he's really projected to be late first round, second round. So that would be a reach to grab him up that high. But it would be a good pick if they did that. It would be like, wow, you know, that's a big move to go get him, even if you just draft him straight out. That's a little bit too high for Mario and Hampton to draft him at 12. Now, that's what everybody's saying. A lot of people, of course, want Ted McMillan. Me personally, I don't think Ted McMillan will be there at 12. I think he'll be gone. But if he is there, it's obvious to me that's who the Cowboys should get. But that's what you primarily been hearing, right? Now it leads me to lead to this point, and this is really to the fan base, really not content. If you were to get a running back at 12, that would signal to me that you really are about to really make a serious attempt at really changing the whole philosophy of your football team, which would be running the ball. I would believe that. Okay. Okay. Any wide receiver at pick 12, any wide receiver that would be picked at 12, because there's a lot of noise now about Matthew Golden, who has been one of the visits. to the Cowboys. Matthew Golden is projected to be in the first round, high or middle. So, and then when we talk about the Cowboys, just because we're saying Ted McMillan, the Dallas Cowboys could have Golden above McMillan on their board. Keep that in mind. Our board and the Cowboys board, two completely different things. Keep that in mind. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Listen to me good here. I thought about this. If you were to pick McMillan or Golden or Luther Burden with your first pick in the first round, whether that's at 12 or you move down, then what is that telling you? What would that really be telling you about your philosophy of your team? I'll tell you what I'm thinking. If you pick McMillan, Golden, or Burden, or Iboka, whichever one, with your first pick in the first round, I don't want to hear nothing from Cowboy fans. Listen to me about running the football. You can run if you're telling. I think the Cowboys want to run the ball when they want to, but if your strongest position, listen, if your strongest position is wide receiver, because if you get a Ted McMillan and you got a CeeDee Lamb and you got a Jake Ferguson, your strongest position on your offense is your wide receiver group. It's not the running back. You already think, by the way that you're paying them, that you have an all-world quarterback. Your strongest position, if you get wide receiver 12 at 12, whichever one you want to go with, whether it's Burden, whether it's McMillan, whether it's Golden, whether it's Ibuka, your strongest position on your offense is not the offensive line, is not your tight end, is not your running back. Your strongest position is wide receiver. So, based off of that, I want to ask you a question. I got the idea in my head, but of course, it's just an opinion. If you get wide receiver and all of a sudden you down here telling everybody you're gonna run the ball, do you really believe that? Think about it. If you're getting Tech McMillan and you got CeeDee Lamb out there, or Golden, or whichever one you want to go with, do you really? And you got Dak Prescott as your quarterback, who already is known for being a passing quarterback. How in the world you really believe? Look, you got an all-world wide receiver, all pro, first team, all pro receiver the last 2 years, over 100 catches just with one man. Now you bringing in a Tech or a Golden or whoever, and you still got Jay Ferguson. Are y'all really telling me that y'all really believe that we gonna just pound and run the ball? Really? Think about it. That's why I'm saying be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. I don't see a continue a change of the philosophy. I really believe that if it is Hampton, that would again I would say that would tell me that you really based off what you've done as far as acquisition of other running backs. That would tell me if you get a Hampton at 12 or a Henderson in the second round, you could get the best of both worlds. You could get a Ted, a Golden, come back in the second round and get a Henderson. But if you get those type of guys at wide receiver, you just can't tell me that we just gonna be a pounded running football thing. It's just no way. You would actually be diminishing the offense if you get a Ted Golden Ibuka, Burton, you would actually be diminishing the power of your offense if you just try to convert to a pounding, running football team. Now, I've already said that I believe the Cowboys want to be in a position that if they want to run the ball, they can by getting a real good running back. And you want to be balanced. I already know what some of y'all gonna say. I know that you want to be balanced, but they have sold us. A lot of people look at the coaches that they hired. You look at Schottenheimer, you know his track record. You know he's a running football coach primarily, more than passing. But you ain't nowhere in the world you gonna tell me I got a receiver who's a first team, second team all pro that's getting over 100 catches a year, 14 to 1,500 yards when he's healthy. There's nowhere in the world you can tell me that if you had a Ted McMillan, Gold, and whoever, that you just gonna be a running, bludgeoning football team. I just can't see it. I can't. I can't. You can't tell me by adding a guy like Ted that you or Golden and you gonna tell me we gonna run the ball. No, we're not gonna run the ball. I got a top 10 quarterback. I got a three top three wide receiver in the league. You bring me a tight end, I got a first team All American, consensus All American in every publication who considered to be one of those type of dudes. Or if you bring in a gold and a guy who's lightning fast, blow the top off, can catch anything. If you bring in a Rebuka, you bring in a polished, very good All American wide receiver. You bring in a Burton, you bring in a bona fide playmaker, and you gonna tell me that we gonna run the ball. I'm sorry. I can't believe it. I believe we're gonna be, excuse me, excuse me. I believe we're gonna be a throwing football team that can run it, with the proper running back that can run it whenever we feel. It's just nowhere in the world you can convince me of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just can't. I heard this line before when we've had Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott when he was somewhat healthier. And I remember us launching the ball out with Amari Cooper, a rookie CD Lamb, and Michael Gallup. And you had bona fide running backs in the background. I just remember that. Yeah, excuse me, I got to roll. So, I just want to say to the Cowboy fans, because a lot of y'all are sold on Schottenheimer, uh, the new offensive coordinator who comes from Arizona, who is known for running the ball. Now you coordinate your offense according to the strength of your football team. I mean, we ain't there yet because draft has not happened. But make no mistake about it. And again, for all those who comment, I'm sorry I can't read your comments. I'm driving and then I can't see it. So I'm so sorry if I'm not responding. But there's no way in the world you can tell me that we're going to strengthen our wide receiver room by going to get one of those dudes, them real dudes, a dog, and tell me that you're going to go opposite of the strength of your football team. If you get a tech, the strength of your football team is the wide receiver room. If you go get a golden, the strength of your offense will be the wide receiver room. If you get a burden, Luther Burden, the strength of your offense will be the quarterback and the wide receiver room. It's just no question about that. If you get a Buka, the strength of your offense will be your wide receiver role and your and I'm throwing Dak in because he's the one that got to throw it to him, and he will throw it to him. We all know that. So I let me go ahead and say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I just looked down. You're right, Kevin. I just see your comment. We all are speculating. That's the reason for the show. Nobody knows what the Cowboys could pick a line. I mean, hey, I'm just saying in case the fan base who will be starving for a wide receiver too, if you get that and it's one of those dudes, then you got to listen your stance on. We need to run the ball. Run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. No, no, I don't see that. I believe the Cowboys will be in a position like they've been for the last few years. They will have the attitude that we can run the ball when we want to, which is which is not bad at all. I'm just trying to lessen the tone down because a lot of people think we're going to run the ball 35 times a game. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen when you got those type of guys in wide out and you got Jake Ferguson in the middle. I just it, it's no way. It's no way. It's no way. I believe that they ought to get a wide receiver too. If it was me in the war room, and if those wide receivers are there, I would go get them. Whether that's staying at 12 or even moving down a little bit, they'll be there. Ibuka, Burden will be there. I think we'll be satisfied with either one. I will be satisfied with any of the four. McMillan, Golden, Burden, or Ibuka. I'm satisfied with either one. I love them all. And then come back in the second round and get your running back. I believe that's called getting the best of both worlds. I believe it ain't got to necessarily be Hampton. It could be Caleb Johnson. I'm happy. I'm super happy. If you want to go even further down, it's some running backs. We all know this by now. All the mock drafts we've done. The names are endless as far as running back goes. I'm talking about. I mean, I'm cool. All I'm saying is, you got a quarterback who is known as a primarily a top 10 quarterback, one of the highest paid in the league. You ain't paying him $60 million now. See, I know how Jerry is. Jerry will do this. If you turned into a running football team, now there's no way to prove this. I do have one way, but I'll get in there just in a second. But I do have a thought that Jerry ain't paying $60 million to a quarterback and $34 million to a wide receiver for them to be handing off the football, talking about we're gonna run the ball 40 times a game. I can see Jerry calling Schottenheimer in the room. Same way he meddled last year when Rico started running the ball very well the Pittsburgh game. And then Zeke Elliott started crying and talking about he needs some reps. They sat Rico down the very next week and Ezekiel Elliott started the game. He had a phantom injury. Y'all remember that, right? So that tells you that Jerry, because Mike McCarthy didn't want it, that tells you Jerry will get involved. I can see Jerry Jones coming down and telling China, look, I'm paying a total of $94 million. My quarterback, my wide receiver needs the ball. The only way he gonna get it is unless Dak Prescott is throwing it. I can see Jerry doing that. I can see him doing that. Cause see, Schottenheimer said something very key. When he was offensive coordinator in Seattle, guess what happened? They led the league in rushing attempts. Remember that. Remember that. Now, of course, Seattle back then, they had Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and they still led the league in rushing attempts. Please understand, Dak Prescott, in the eyes of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, Dak Prescott is not Geno Smith. Now, a lot of fans eyes, they think Geno and Dak are the same. Make no difference what that means. The Cowboys look at Dak Prescott as if he is one of those dudes. They did that when they paid him. There's no other way to look at it. They believe he is one of those type of dudes. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But please understand, that's all I'm saying. When you add one of these type of dudes to this offense, I think what was Brandon Cooks, even though he was injured, you know, the balance of CD getting over 100 catches and your second wide receiver only have, if they're healthy, somewhere between 45 to 65 catches in a season, that's not what we're looking for. That's not what we're looking for. Now, when you add one of these dudes in the draft, no, 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 sir. You want that 45 maybe to go to Jake Ferguson, somewhere between 45 and 55 catches to your tight end. Yeah. But another wide receiver, a bona fide wide receiver too, oh, he got to have at least 75 to 80 catches in the season. Right then and there, that's more passing attempts then. So the idea of us just coming out being a grinded out time of possession, hit you in your mouth football team will happen at times. But if you had one of these dudes here, ladies and gentlemen, we running and gunning. And I don't have no problem with it. I'm just saying, I mean, I know what y'all gonna say. We don't want Dak throwing the ball 35 times. We don't want Dak throwing the ball 32 times. We don't. Well, I'm sorry, but when you add one of these type of guys to your offense, you're supposed to throw it. Hello. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes. Yes, you are. You are supposed to throw the football. That's all I'm saying. So hey, I know we want the philosophy change. I understand, but I think we're gonna be for those that are holding on to that theory. I got a real feeling, whether it's the first round or second round. I got a real feeling that y'all gonna be real disappointed by the choice that we make. I think y'all gonna be extremely disappointed. I can see it. That's all I want to tell you this morning. We're almost coming into the part. Uh, I thought about it yesterday, and I said, when you ask it, because everybody want it, you can have it both ways, but not the way that you think it is gonna be. See, I even threw in. Watch this, y'all. If I'm expecting my wide receiver one, my All Pro wide receiver, to get over 100 catches, as he has shown he can do, even when he didn't have a wide receiver too. CD Lamb gonna get his numbers. It's just automatic. All right, that's done. But the wide receiver two position be getting 50 catches. I can see. I want my wide receiver too. If he's one of those type dudes, he got to give me at least somewhere between 75 to 85 catches in the season. No, yeah, it is. Angry Cowboy fan, I see you. What's up, brother? Yes, it's doomsday coming because And if you add in Jake Ferguson, Jake should get at least somewhere between 50 and 60 catches a season. Well, just with the increase of your wide receiver too, that's telling you we're gonna throw the ball more. And let's throw this in. If you are getting, as for instance, a Henderson running back from Ohio State, I'm just throwing his name out in the second round. Well, what is one of the great attributes of Henderson? Henderson can do both. He can run it and catch it. That's at least 30 catches out the backfield. So you're asking that to throw it even more if you get a Tet, if you get a Golden, if you get a Burden, if you get an Evoker. If you get Joe, if it's in the first round, you're telling me that you ain't bringing him here to block. You bring him in, as Kevin Kyrie said, you bring him to help out CD. So what is that really translating to? That is translating to you're asking Dak to throw it more. Please don't say it. Nah, they don't want it made. Stop it. When you had CD Lamb as a rookie, and you had a healthier Michael Gallup, and you had Amari Cooper, you remember we had Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. What did we do? We threw the football. Why? Because the strength of your offense was your wide receiver group. You had a Tet, you had a Boca, you had a Burton, you had whoever else, whoever else, and a gold into it. Your strength on the offense would be, yes, your wide receiver group. And you are going to throw the football. So, yes, you can have the best of both worlds. You want to run it when you want to. But if you're looking for a bell cow type running back, no, you're going to do the same thing that you've done for years. Your number one running back may have somewhere between 14 to 16. Your second running back may have 5, 6, that's 21 times a game. Dak Prescott gonna throw it up 30 times a game. And he should. And he should. Let the chips fall where they may. If I got a Ted on my team and a CD Lamb on my team, I don't want to hear nothing about people talking about we should run. No, 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 no. The offense and the pick will dictate what you're gonna do offensively. You ain't bringing Teddy here to talk about you gonna be a blocking wide receiver. No, no, no. I'm just trying to tell y'all this morning. Appreciate all y'all. John said, Bishop, why they let Big Mike then let Big Mike go? I guess that's what he's saying. This is gonna be pass. To be honest with you, man, and this is an opinion, John. It's just my opinion. And I could be wrong. And if you ask everybody in the chat that you're gonna get about whatever, how many different answers. But just thinking about it, with Mike McCarthy here, because of his past and his pedigree, there was an expectation that comes along with him. See, when you win a Super Bowl, your expectation is not the NFC championship game. Your expectation is just not to make the playoffs. Your expectation is to win the Super Bowl because you've been there, you know how to get there, you've done it. And with him, even though the regular season record is great, getting knocked out primarily in the first round of the playoffs fails the expectation. You brought him in here. We brought him in here with the expectation of winning the Super Bowl, getting very close. We ain't even got close. So after 5 years, his expectation is up here. When you bring a Schottenheimer in, yes, you're going to say it's Super Bowl. You're going to say playoffs with Schottenheimer. But the expectation is not the fan base. The expectation may be a Super Bowl, but just put it this way. Just put it this way. The expectation level for Schottenheimer, who's just a first year coach, is not the same as Mike McCarthy. Put it that way. Greg says I disagree with you on the pass happy. I know. I get it, but I understand, and you may be right. I just think that the Cowboys will be a team that can run it when they can, which is great because you got balance. I mean, you go get a Martin Hampton, you get a Caleb Johnson, whatever what running back you get. That's just called adding another weapon. But I think it's common sense. If you add one of those four guys that I mentioned earlier, you know, Iboka, uh, Burden, Burden, Golden, Matthew Golden, or Ted McMillan, we passing the ball. We passed the ball with less. Y'all understand me? We didn't run the ball. I know it's a new coaching staff, but we passed with less. Y'all remember you remember when Cooper Rush came in? Y'all remember them couple games Cooper Rush threw the ball 30 plus times? Why? Because we're a pass happy team. CD got to get the ball. The only way you gonna get it to him unless you pass it. You bring McMillan in, the only way he gonna get the ball unless you pass. Ferguson, I mean, we gonna pass the ball. You got a $60 million quarterback who they believe the ball need to be in his hand. Come on now. This ain't just starting. We've been saying Dak Prescott been throwing the ball too much for the last 6 years. It ain't changed. No matter who the running back was, no matter who the wide receivers were, Dak was throwing the ball 35 times. Y'all know that. Excuse me. That's just the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth now. Now, what in the world you think gonna make? I mean, Dak. Look, Dak getting paid. Look, Jerry Jones believes in his in payment for his investment. I just don't believe that he is going to let 94 million, CeeDee Lamb 34, Dak Prescott 60. There's no way in the world, y'all, that Jerry Jones is going to be satisfied with his wide receiver one not getting his 100 catches a year. They ain't counting the target that he didn't catch. There's nowhere in the world you had a Tick McMillan or whoever your wide receiver two is, who's going to be a good one. And well, y'all, you know what I mean. I'm saying that I want to run the ball because I think that the play action game would be there. But please understand that gonna be lined up in the shotgun. There's another thing that y'all got to remember too about Dak Prescott. All right, here's the thing. Because I'm one of the ones that can't stand us lined up in shotgun all the time. However, let's use common sense. Dak done lost, y'all seen the pictures. Dak done lost 30 pounds, all this stuff. He looks great. I get it. But Dak is also injury prone. I think we can go add that tag to him now. It's the truth. Okay. Dak coming from under center a lot. And if he's one thing about it, he looks good, but we don't know how well he really moves yet. You know, you have the kind we already know his ankle slowed down. You can see that. Now his hamstring came off the bone. That's been repaired. But we have not seen how he really moves. If he does not, I said if he does not move well, then the pistol formation or the shotgun formation will probably be, you know, real. We'll see that a lot. Because getting from under center, you got to do a 5-step drop. Dak may not get there like he used to. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They got to protect him. Protecting him might be the shotgun. Protecting him might be the pistol formation. For real. With the pistol formation, you don't know if he passing or if he gonna hand it off. I like that actually. to make the defense have to wonder. But him coming under center, I don't know how well he moves yet. He look good. He looks great. Look like he's in the best shape of his life. I'll give him that. But we all know he does not move well now. Not the way he used to. That ankle injury that took his toll. And that's where I guess it's no surprise. You have three or four screws in your ankle or whatever you got. I mean, come on now. You don't expect them to be the same. Come on now. If you got your hamstring torn completely off the bone, yeah, you had surgery, but there's a price to pay for having surgery. You are not the same. We saw that with Michael Gallup. Have surgery, guess what? He wasn't the same. In order to protect your quarterback, you may come from under center at times, but that he may need to be in shotgun. He might be there for real. He may need to come out the pistol formation. He may have to do that because he simply may not be able to move well. You better have weapons around him. You need it. So again, listen, I appreciate you guys. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying it's just common sense. If you add one of these guys to your offense, which would be a great thing. I've already said in one of my previous shows that if you had a Ted McMillan or a Golden or a DeBuca, I even go Burton. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be a top three offense in this league. Why am I saying that? Because I've seen the Cowboys be the number one offense in the league with less. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Greg says he can see it 30 to 36 times, and he would run the ball 25 to 35 times. Greg, the only thing I'm going to say to that is it'll be beautiful. They tell me we got time of possession if that happens. However, I can't tell you the last time the Dallas Cowboys ran the ball 35 times a game. I just, even with running back by committee type thing, they just don't do that. I would, if we do what you just said, Greg, I know we're going to win a whole lot of football games. Hey, look, that tells me that the offense time of possession will be we'll lead the league in that. If I hope that's true, Greg. I hope that. Look, I'm gonna start making plans to get ready to travel. Then, if I see that, oh my God, oh my God, if that happened, Greg, oh, I'm start booking some hotels in other places. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm booking hotels in January. Let me make it very clear. And late January, early February. If we do what you just said, Greg, we might be somewhere that we've been begging to get to. Let me just leave it at that. I don't see it. I hope that happens. All right. Just keep in mind, y'all. I'm ready to leave, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging with me this morning. Just keep in mind two things. Number one, your strength. If we do what I'm thinking in the draft, notice what is the strength of your offense, and you gotta cater to that. Number two, get ready for the DC universe. Remember, I mean, with Angry Cowboy and myself, are members of the DC universe. We're gonna do a draft show coming up on draft night. It is going to be amazing. You know, all the people that you follow, just name the name. They're probably part of the DC universe. Boss, Law, the Angry Cowboy fans, myself, Henny, Landlord, Rome, J Tuck, uh, the OC, Big Gang James. All of us are going to combine together, of course, to bring the draft show. Uh, it's going to be amazing. It really is, and it's going to be powerful because you got the best. Uh, I'm not claiming to be one of the best. I'm nowhere near Boss Cowboy and Law, of course, and these guys like that. But they think of me to be a part of the group. Uh, so we're all gonna combine our efforts. AMP, the names go on. I know I'm forgetting folks. AMP, DMV, oh my God, Lose Takes, West Coast Cowboy. All of us are a part of it. There's a certain few of us that will be doing the draft show and all that type of stuff. So look, it's going to be incredible. It is. So get ready for that, y'all. Follow all my people. My brother is in here, Angry Cowboy fan. You guys already know him. Listen, follow him. Who does Angry Cowboy fan? I've been peeping you out. You done stepped it up, Doc. When you brought back the podcast, you stepped it up another notch. So my brother's there, Sports Junkie, all these guys, man, just amazing Dallas Cowboy content creators. You guys have to support them. You have to, and get with them. I gotta go. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. This has been the one and the only. You know what it is. The big time show. Y'all groove with me. Let's go.